it's time for a book review. Why am I wearing the hood? You guys all probably want to know. Well, from the title, you'll probably get that I'm going to be talking about the Lunar Chronicles. And the second book in the series introduces a character who is inspired by Red Riding Hood. So I thought I would put my red hood on. I just finished the Lunar Chronicles series, and I have to say, 2014, this is by far my favorite series. I'm going to be in a long mourning period after I just finished Cress last night. So much appreciation for this whole series. Like, this is just right up my alley. I don't even know why I wasted my time with other books. I should have just picked up Cinder when it was published, but no, I didn't know about it, and thanks to BookTube, I do know about it now, and I'm hoping that I will tell many of you guys about this series and that you will also pick it up. So, if you've been on the fence about picking up the Lunar Chronicles series, no, stop. Just stop right now. It is sci-fi, it has aliens, it has romance, it has fairy tales, it has everything that this generation and that this day and age loves. If you didn't already, the Lunar Chronicles centers around fairy tales. The first book is about Cinderella. Earth is so far in the future, we have people up on the moon called lunars, and Earth and the moon are at odds with each other. It's been a tough relationship so far, and just throughout these books you will see the tension growing and growing and growing. There's been like 5 world wars. The technology in this future is above average craziness. I mean, they have androids walking around that look exactly like humans. Like, I was thinking like Terminator type. This is the Terminator, but Earth is all good. You know, we're not being run over by robots, okay? Our main character, Cinder, is a cyborg, so she has a couple mechanical parts. So she has a mechanical arm and a mechanical foot. When you first read Cinder, you start seeing the parallels to Cinderella's story, and it gets really cute, and the first book is just cute and it's action-packed. You can pick out the stepmother and the 2 stepdaughters, and of course, just like Cinderella, Cinder isn't treated very well by her family. With her cyborg part, she's an awesome mechanic. She can fix basically anything. She's just badass, and towards the end of the story, we start seeing the Cinderella story come into place. But it does not end how you think it would end, because we have more books coming along in the future. Next is Scarlet. Scarlet follows a girl from France, and she is a farmer and also a pilot. She is feisty, she is fierce, she wears a red hood, she has red hair, and her grandmother has just gone missing. Scarlet and her family play a big role into Cinder's story. This book builds upon what happens to Cinder. We also meet a new character in this that everyone is going to love. He's Captain Kirk. He's Captain Jack Sparrow. He's just hilarious. You have to read Cinder so you can get to this new character in this book. You aren't going to want to miss him. He's freaking hilarious. Last book published is Cress, and this follows Rapunzel. And Rapunzel is out in space. So instead of being up in a tower, she is out in space. She is a hacker, and she has been stuck in this satellite orbiting Earth for like 7 to 10 years. If you don't relate to Cinder, if you don't relate to Scarlet, then you're going to relate to Cress, because she fangirls. This book is by far my favorite. It is so action-packed. It is 500 pages long, so there's something always going on. There isn't a part in this book, or actually in any of these series, where you're bored. Not only to the fairy tales, but to other shows. It's very similar to Firefly, so if you guys have watched Firefly, you're gonna love this series. And the character who you meet, which his name is Captain Thorn, he is a lot like Mr. Nathan Fillion. It's all just wonderful. The last book in the series will be published next year in 2015, unfortunately. But it follows Winter, and Winter is Snow White. She's a little crazy. So that last book is going to be massive. It's also going to be entirely entertaining, and I cannot wait. I'm so sad I have to wait so long, because I just like marathon the series, and this last book is going to be horrible to wait. If you have read the series, stay with me, because we are going to be talking about some of my favorite parts. So if this sounds interesting to you, and I hope I explained it well enough, please pick it up. All the links for the books will be down below if you guys want to purchase them. And I'm going to say bye to people who have not read the books, because I'm sorry, but you need to read them. Oh! Okay, I'm taking the hood off because I'm way too hot. I do have lots of lights on. Can you guys see the light above? Ah! So like I said, I just finished this series last night and Cress is my favorite and I can't get enough of it. This is gonna be big for me. This is gonna be like Vampire Academy big for me, although that was a 6-book series. I still can't get over that one. My favorite character by far is Scarlet. I love Scarlet and Wolf, they are my favorites. I talked about this with Christine. I really love like the brawly man type guys, and Wolf really just did it for me. I picture Scarlet as Holland Roden. I mean, it's pretty perfect, and she's also in Team Wolf, which is pretty funny. Wolf is like a Kellen Lutz type guy. In my head, he also looks like the guy from Star-Crossed. But my third favorite character is Captain Thorn. Captain Carswell Thorn. When he was introduced, I didn't know what to think about him, but then it just kept going on and on and on, and I just kept realizing how amazing he was and how funny. My favorite part, probably that I was dying laughing. I couldn't get over how ridiculous it was, but it was hilarious. They're on the roof of the castle. Cinder's just laying on the ground. Thorn's like, maybe Cinder has to be rebooted. That happened once before. He reached beneath Cinder's head and Cress heard a click. Cinder's eyes popped open and her hand snapped around Thorn's wrist. Crying out, he fell over onto the ground. Don't open my control panel. How ridiculous is that? And the funny thing is, my favorite fairy tale is Cinderella. I like Cinder, but she's not my favorite. It was really hard to switch over to Scarlet when I picked up the book. Her brain didn't have a computer in it, and that's what I really loved. It was like going from, I assume, Rose from Vampire Academy to Sydney to the Bloodline series, because Rose is just badass and Sydney has to get there. For me, Cinder wasn't like a super must read. The super must read is the entire series, because you just have to get past the first one, which is still really good. But then you get to Scarlet, and then you really need to get to Cress. I thought when I started Cress, I'm like, okay, I know how this book is gonna go. But it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. The first 200 pages. So exciting. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was at like page 100, and then the whole satellite falling to Earth, and then the stupid thermitage. I call them thermitages even though it's really not pronounced that way. Thaumaturge, whatever. Scarlet was taken by Sybil, and that whole thing from Cress. It's so torturous because, you know, they have this plan and it's just going all to hell. Like, that was the whole theme of Cress. All plans go to hell. So Wolf was pissed me off during this whole thing. When Scarlet was taken, I knew he wasn't gonna be able to function. I was right, he couldn't function. And I'm like, he's freaking Bella from New Moon. Like, Edward is gone, and he's just in comatose. January, February, March, April, like that was Wolf. You aren't some teenage girl Wolf, you are a wolf hybrid type lunar thing. You know Scarlet in a week, okay? You can't be that distraught. When you're reading these books, I like to like map out what the fairy tale is so I can kind of like see how it's gonna all play out. I think the one that played out the best with the fairy tale was Scarlet. I remember seeing Wolf's name and I'm thinking, oh, that's obvious. What actually I think is the coolest thing is that everybody is lunar except for Thorn. Scarlet is part lunar and Cress is a full shell, and of course Cinder is Princess Celine. That is like the coolest thing ever, that they're all lunars. Okay, and how many of you really figured out that the lunars, Lavana, had engineered the Lunamosis disease? How many figured that out? I did. I figured that out in like the first book. Duh. But of course I didn't know that they were using shells to make the disease and the antidote. It's so obvious. Guys, Earth, it's not nice seeing Earth be weak, okay? I want to see Earth be strong and be united. I mean, they are united, but they're weak as shit. Back to the fairy tales and the parallels. When Cinder fell down the stairs and lost her foot, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen somehow. Poor Cinder, and then Kai. We got our scene at the end of Cress where he was like looking at all of her stuff, kissing her knuckles.
That was really cute. I'm looking at her retina display in her eye, and like they finally kissed, and
and then Rapunzel, which actually my friend Maureen told me about, was when Thorn got blinded on their way down to Earth. That's in the fairy tale if you guys didn't know, and I didn't know that. Maureen had to tell me. That was a good parallel. And obviously he's gonna get his eyesight back. I kinda want him to have cyborg eyes, because he would just be talking about them nonstop and how cool they are and how he can see underneath your clothes. How did you guys picture Cress? I had a hard time. I finally actually settled on Saoirse Ronan. Some of you are going to be like, no. I feel like it's a good fan cast. How about Jason? I thought I was gonna like him. He was pretty in my head. Pretty. He was actually Chris Hemsworth in my head. I cast all of my characters. I don't really make up faces in my mind. I have to cast them as actors because I know these actors and I know what their facial expressions is, and I like to cast it as a movie. So yes, I would like to be the casting director for this series. That would be nice. Actually, what I really want, I want these books turned into movies. Can you imagine them as movies? They would be phenomenal. Like, you have the fairy tale aspect, you have the adventure-like aspect, and you have the once upon a time and all of these fairy tales coming into play, and they're so action-packed. I want to see them as movies. I think they would just be so good. I'm thinking, what, would they be animated? No, they wouldn't be animated. I don't want to see them as animated because then it would be too closely related to the Disney animated films. No, they need to have real actors with amazing special effects, and these books would just be amazing movies. I actually don't know if they've been optioned. I work for Page Premiere. I should know if Cinder has been optioned. I'm pretty sure it has. Not quite sure, actually. I'll check that later and is it optioned? I love it in the beginning when they're gonna go pick up Cress. Thorne's like, but you're a prisoner. I prefer damsel in distress, actually. I love that! And then at the end when he goes, alright damsel, send over those coordinates. Like I said before, Cress is a fangirl. All day long, she looks at these computers. I mean, that's basically what I do all day long. She's been tracking Cinder and she's been tracking Thorne the entire time. She has just been daydreaming and having fantasies about Thorne, and then finally he shows up to save her. As a fangirl, I don't know how I would have reacted, but I would have reacted as maybe Cress had when they popped up on the decom chip. I would have reacted that way and not said anything and hid under a desk. Cress, I get you, girl. I just remember reading there, I'm like, she's a fangirl. She's a fangirl. She is like us. If Henry Cavill incarnate came to rescue me from my satellite ship. I actually for the first time watched Tangled like last week. Flynn Rider is Thorne. I actually marked a page in the book where it's kind of like a homage back to Tangled. This is at the hotel after they've already taken Cress. So tell me how you came across her. It was a lunar satellite. I've got that much. But how did you get tangled up with her to begin with? I laughed at that. At the end of the book, they have the whole plan to kidnap Kai, which I thought they were going to take the wedding back to Luna, but where did that plan go, by the way? Kidnapping Kai was quite amusing. You finally get to see the Cinder again that I love. I love how Marissa Meyer did that. Like, usually when somebody talks awkwardly in books, I don't like it because it doesn't come off naturally. But Marissa Meyer made it happen in this book, and it's so awkwardly cute. I knew Kai was going to be difficult by getting him out, and I love that Torin helped and told them about the chip behind his right ear. I hate that the people that Cinder didn't tell that she was a princess. How many times have that happened to her? Let's just think. When she thought that Kai knew that she was a cyborg, and of course she doesn't tell Aiko that she's a princess. And then she thought that Jason thought that she was Princess Celine. No, he was talking about Princess Winter. Okay, Cinder, let's just tell people that you're Princess Celine. If they're on your side, just tell them already. I thought she was gonna do that again at the end of the book. No, she actually told Kai, which I was happy about. Oh yeah, and then Dr. Erland is Cress's father. I didn't see that one coming. Usually I see these things coming. I feel like she had to have some sort of weird 7th degree thing. I mean, because all these people have some weird, except for maybe Wolf and Jason and Thorne. All of the girls are oddly related somehow. It was really sad. I knew someone was gonna die at the very end. I knew someone had to. It's a fun book, but someone had to die, and of course it was Dr. Erland and the new strain of Lunamosis. Then of course at the very end of Cress, everything came all back together. Cress and Thorne kind of figured things out a bit, although I really do want them like officially together. Guy and Cinder figured all their stuff out, but Levana is attacking the world. So guess we'll just have to wait until winter comes out, which I'm just, it's gonna be horrible waiting for this book. I had Cress mapped out. Now I kind of don't really know what's gonna happen in winter. I know they're gonna be going to Luna and that we're gonna get Winter's point of view and it's gonna be all creepy and she's odd. If she doesn't want to use her gift, then they need to figure out how to use that bit of technology that they had in Cinder's neck. And I hope we get Scarlet back, because Scarlet needs to be back. Because, I mean, obviously Wolf can't function without her. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little discussion that we had. Share your thoughts and what you might think is going to happen in winter. Who do you guys fan cast in this series? I obviously fan cast the entire cast. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video and stick around on my channel if you would like. I am laying down the carpet for you. Alright guys, keep calm and fangirl on, and I'll talk to you all in the future. Bye! I recorded him doing some type of animal noise. I don't know. Chronicle sensors are... Our main character wow, could not speak. Oh my gosh, I'm so hot. I need to take this thing off. So far, whoops. There is a bug on my light. What's the freaking bug? Ew! I think I just got it. Oh gosh. No, I didn't. I'm blind. I can't see. Oh my gosh. I don't care. I can't see. I'm blind. I think that's the